ease with which works can be copied, stored and distributed over the web has made online piracy a very profitable activity and one with low entry cost. The music industry in particular has had a whacking, and with online piracy of bestsellers like 50 Shades of Grey, the book publishing industry is also having to come to terms with the phenomenon. We're not really here to talk technology, but I will mention briefly how things have changed. What began with individuals swapping and sharing files has become a whole industry built up around new sharing techniques. You've probably heard of torrent sites, short for BitTorrent. The technique began as a perfectly legitimate way of distributing mass files over the internet. For the end user, the benefit is that it speeds up the download process. Instead of one computer pouring data into another, it chops the file up into thousands of tiny pieces and uses hundreds or even thousands of different computers at the same time. Because of the obvious advantages, torrents are now associated with pirated movies, music and other copyrighted files, dirty downloads. File hosters. A more recent technology is called file hosters, and something like 80% of illegal downloads are processed this way. RapidShare, the biggest file hoster, claims 30 million visits every month. Because file hosters use a simple web address for access, they can go viral using email, blogs and over the social media. A single link can be downloaded many thousands of times. There are even dedicated search engines to help people find illegal links. The problem has become so acute that special legislation has been passed to combat the problem, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA. Copyright abuse now over the web has become a criminal, not a civil one. We don't have time to go into any detail, and I'm no expert anyway. Suffice it to say that should you find an example of a link to an item of your own work that does not have your permission, you can 1. Send a cease and desist letter or demand payment, or you could send a DMCA takedown letter to the infringer's internet service provider. And remember, I showed you how to find out who is the service provider by using a whois search. Your letter, obviously email, must be signed by the copyright owner or agent. An electronic signature is fine. Include your contact details. Identify the work that has been infringed. Identify the material that is infringing your work. State that you are complaining in good faith. State that under penalty of perjury, the information contained in the notification is accurate, and state that as the copyright owner, you got the right to proceed. After the ISP receives the notice, it should remove the infringing material straight away. You'll find a sample takedown letter here, and by the way, it's a fantastic site for photographers. Specialist online services. With the sheer volume and value associated with the music industry, a whole raft of new companies has emerged offering takedown services. They've been so successful that the book publishing industry is now using their services extensively. Unlike the companies we discussed earlier, remember the ones offering copyright registration, these companies provide much more active and proactive services. Instead of simply registering your work, they will take positive action by raising takedown orders. Others go even further, detecting infringements on your behalf, a 24/7 service that needs no user interaction or decision making. A search of the web should provide you with a selection of companies. the only one I can recommend, and that's simply because I've written case studies for them, so I have spoken directly to their satisfied sort of big name customers, and that's a company called Linkbusters. They claim a 99% removal rate for file hosting sites and a 70% removal for torrent sites. Check them out, but do research others before coming to a decision.